Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of going with your own blog, which is hosted on your website, or starting a Substack newsletter. I've had a lot of writers who are in the platform course asking about this. I get this question quite a bit, so I'm going to present the pros and cons and explain what both are, because I know that many of you are coming into this with little to no digital language understanding. So the most important thing, though, just to understand the foundations of this, though, is that Substack is a brand, like Instagram is a brand, it's a company, and TikTok is a brand and a company. So when someone says, do you have a Substack, they are asking, do you have a blog or an article, a regular posting that you do on this hosted platform called Substack. Now, it's a bit like Patreon, and Patreon hosts lots of content for creators, and it takes a commission of any subscribers or paying clients that you have there. So I don't recommend a Patreon for the same reason that I don't recommend a Substack, but I do know quite a few writers and creators who use both these platforms, and I can see where it is of benefit. Okay, so I'll explain to you. So Substack is just the brand, and it is literally just a place where you can be posting your blog posts or articles about your topic of expertise, and you can also be building, but not in the way that I recommend, a subscriber list. The reason that I don't recommend you start blogging over on Substack is because you don't own your email list for the people who subscribe to your Substack, okay? That's as simple as I can put it. And your email list is one of the core foundational components of your personal brand and your assets as an author, as a writer, as a creator, as a personal brand. Anyone creating digital products or offerings or building their authority in the online space, okay? And the people that I have seen succeeding with Substack already have these foundational things in place. They already have a big following. They already have, so Jessica Adams, astrologer, she already has a big following and her own websites. Natasha Lester, she'd already had multiple books reach the New York Times bestseller list. It doesn't work for those of you starting out, and it's also not a long-term solution to what you are building here. So we always come back to what you're building and where you are going. So where are you going with this business that you are building? Because your writing and your platform and your brand, it's your business, okay? And think about this in the next 5 years, the next 10 years. Where do you want your business to be? Do you want to be teaching? Do you want to be selling courses? Do you want to be talking on stage? Do you want to be writing like me? I really love writing, and I think that blogging and Substack so favored by writers like me because we're introverts at heart. Speaking on camera like this doesn't come easily, but I've learnt to embrace it and love it because I know that it's a big part of promoting my work and connecting with the people and teaching the people that I want to connect with. So back to Substack and blogging. So blogging is great because we're writers and we're introverts, and anything where you're creating the content is really powerful and valuable. And in the age of AI, it is more valuable than ever. I'm going to repeat that. In an age of AI, I don't want to read stuff written by ChatGPT. I have read it, and you can tell. It's interesting. I follow an influencer on Instagram, and she writes many of her posts, and then I can see she's gotten AI to do some of them, and you can tell in the nuanced ways. And there's something in the sense and the feeling that I get from reading her words that shifts, and it's just empty when she's used the robot version. Anyway, writing is really powerful and valuable in a time of AI, and your name is very valuable. And this is why starting with having that core presence of your website and a blog that you own, which is hosted on your website, whether that's on WordPress or Squarespace, I use WordPress, means that your name and all the associations and the brand associations and the building of the platform and the networking opportunities and the Google results and the associations and authority that people make with you and your name and your work is going to build and continually come back to your website and the content that you're putting on your blog on your website. And it all flows to build your email list. Now, if you host that on Substack, you essentially have various places that you're directing people to go. You don't own the email list of subscribers. There's also, I don't want to talk about the political side of it because I don't know it enough, but it's a little bit like Spotify. So Substack is owned by, I believe 3 men in the US, and one of them has also been investing in some pretty awful stuff to do with the war in Israel. So you're building, when you create content for another medium, another channel like TikTok or Substack or Spotify, you are creating for their platform, and they make money from it. And whereas if you are creating fresh original content for your blog and it leads and it raises your SEO, search engine optimization, raises your brand authority in your niche, in your field, always leads people into your email list and connects with and leads people to join your world in that way and connects your offerings on your website, then you are building your own brand, your own business, your own authority. Whereas Substack and Patreon, that could go down tomorrow and you won't have your subscribers. And so I've seen writers who wanted to leave Substack when they found out about the owners and the political affiliations. They couldn't get their list of subscribers. And that is such a valuable asset to you, is your email list when you are a writer and you are building your personal platform. So that's why I don't recommend Substack over blogging. The reason that I think a lot of you do just quickly set up a Substack is because you can monetize it. It's a trendy thing right now. It's relatively user friendly. They've made it so that you know how to set it up very quickly, but you need to know that they do keep your subscribers and you're not leading people back to your website. Also, they send out the emails. So you're not controlling the amount of times that those people are hearing from that company. So I've had to unsubscribe from so many Substack things because they send me these weekly updates. You also don't know who else they're going to position you with. I get an email from Substack because I do subscribe to 2 Substacks. I think only 1 now. And it says, here's what else you might be interested in. Now that might be someone that you don't actually want your work to be associated with. So it's about lack of control and agency over what readers and subscribers are getting with your brand and your content. Okay, it is good to start some kind of regular content posting. So whether it be blogging or email newsletter list, that should be the main focus for you because these are long-term assets that you will build upon. Email, there's a statistic about email marketing, and it's something like most people had bought something in the last month from an email that they subscribed to. So having that list that you own of people who have specifically opted in to hear from you, your name, your expertise, your knowledge, your wisdom, your writing, your beautiful outlook on the world is really precious, and you need to honor that, and you need to actually keep it very safe and not be giving that list away to places like Substack or Patreon. I have pretty strong feelings on this. Now, it's going to be a little bit trickier to set things up on your website. So you'll need to purchase, like I do, a separate subscription software. You'll have to pay for something like Kit, or I used MailChimp. I don't recommend it anymore. There's other ones like ActiveCampaign. And this is how places like Substack do get so many people joining, because you're not having to pay them, and it looks relatively simple and easy from the outside, but you're not actually getting any of the long-term financial or brand benefits. You're building their media platform for them, and it could go away at any moment, just like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Okay, so be really clear on your long-term goals. Yes, it's going to take a little bit longer to set up your website properly, have the functioning blog, the search terms, the authority, the expertise, the clear content buckets that you want to be talking about and writing about and linking and connected to. But in the long term, it's going to benefit you. For example, I still send out emails. I've spoken about this in other videos, but I have, according to Kit, I've been with Kit since 2019. I've sent over 80,000 emails through Kit since I joined them. Now, I don't have 80,000 subscribers on my list. People are always coming and going, and some people click all the links, some people don't, as cold subscribers. But those 80,000 emails are different sequences that I've set up and I've been able to repurpose from blog content, from media appearances, from content that I've then repurposed on social media channels and on web pages that sell or promote my courses and my offerings. So it's all about this ecosystem that you're building up around your brand, and you've got to think long term about it. And the foundations of that ecosystem are your website, your name, and that's why it's got to be your website, so that when people search your name, they come back to you, not Substack or TikTok. Your website and your email list, because that is a more personal, intimate way for people to hear from you, to know exactly what's up, what's happening in the present moment, any events you're doing, anything you're wanting to promote, anything you are working on or seeking or making connections with or promoting in the media. It's all got to come back to that. That's why you'd start anything like a podcast or any content channel that you're going to start. But I do think that writing a blog is a great place for introverts like us, because you can also build up your brand authority around particular search terms as well. And it all comes back to your name and gives people, particularly as a writer, gives people, say, editors and publishers or connections that you are making, gives them a clear place to come and research and check that you know what you're talking about around certain topics and themes. Even if it is just your memoir or a book that you're working on, you might have some behind the scenes articles on some really unique aspects of that story. And the only place that they can find them is on your blog or when they sign up to get a particular freebie on your email list. So keep it all flowing back to your website. So in summary, the reason I would choose a blog over starting a Substack for any writers who are building a platform, a brand, wanting to sell books, wanting to build a long-term, thriving, prosperous business. And let's face it, everything is online these days. You own it and it's connected to your name. All the content that Google and even the AI robots find is connected to and comes back to your website when you have it on your own blog. And it's a launch pad for your email list. People who find your blog through searching for help with certain things will also sign up to your email list, and it all flows. You can repurpose the material. You can send people through Pinterest or YouTube links to your blog. Now, you could also use something like what I'm using right now. You could use Descript. If you don't want to sit down and write particular blog posts, you could just riff on a topic, put the camera on and riff on a topic, and then edit the script, the transcript, and that could be your blog post. Then you also put the video on YouTube. You're doubling up there and repurposing it and growing your brand exponentially. Because again, YouTube, if you choose your own name, if you can get your own name on YouTube, like I've got Louisa DCTV, that is a search engine tool, and that again grows your brand authority and that connection with your chosen search terms and your expertise with where you are leading people to go. Another for writers, the reason I would choose blogging over Substacks is your memoir is personal narrative, and it's a really good way to test out topics and aspects of your story and how that connects with what you're offering in a business sense and what resonates with people. Because you can see that the blog posts that you share, so you'll write a blog post, you'll share it on your social media platforms, you'll direct the traffic to go back there. You could even create a Facebook ad to a particular blog post if you've got your opt-ins set up for subscribers with a proper pop-up or landing page or visual graphic link. I'm not saying just WordPress followers. You want an actual email list of subscribers. I've seen many writers do this effectively. They've created an ad to a particular blog post because it's a great deep dive into their topic or their expertise. It's just sharing knowledge and wisdom, and it's getting lots and lots of eyes on their work and their writing. You can comment on blogs so people can write comments and you know what's resonating. You can repurpose parts of that have worked really well in your email sequences and broadcasts. And it's also going to help you when it comes to promoting any aspect of that story, for whether it's a book promotion or something on media or something else. Now, writing is very different to videos. Videos, obviously you're watching me right now, it is very powerful because you know that I'm a human and you can trust me, and there's that human connection. That trust factor comes across very quickly with video in a way that it doesn't with written content. But as I said before, with so much AI written content right now, you writing an honest and a well-researched blog post that has clearly not been written by a robot. None of my 200 plus blog posts have been written by robots. Is going to build your brand so much more effectively than the alternatives. And people know, people can feel it. They've done studies actually on the biological response to people reading and listening to and watching AI generated media content versus human generated. And our bodies know, and we prefer it. We prefer a human because we are humans and we all want to connect. So that's what it's all about. It's about connection. Either way, you are going to need to be clear on what you're building, where you're going, that this is a long-term thing. You're not just going for trends and quick fixes here. You're going to be building a brand over the long term, and you're going to be clear on what you love to write about, where you want to go, what you want people to associate with you, and your name, because your name is so valuable as a personal brand, as a human, and as an author. This is how people know that you are the authentic creator, your name. Okay, I hope this has helped you and clarified where I stand on Substack versus your own blog. Okay, happy writing.